curious if you're willing to share what were some of those roadblocks, either early on or even recently, that you felt like made it a struggle to get to 10K, and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think for a long time, I didn't even really start. So I was working with you one-on-one early on, and I knew that I could learn these skills. So that's, it kind of goes back to some of what you were talking about. Working at a really huge company, I might have had social media management as like a portion of touching what I did, but we were the product and head of the product. So we had social, and the teams were so big that we had social media experts, and not just social media experts, but you have someone specifically that is an SEO expert. And then you have like 10 or 15 agencies you work with for different things. And there's just so many resources. So I did not know how to do all these things. Which sounds funny because I could run these big programs, but I didn't know the nuts and bolts of how to do it. And because of that, I had a lack of confidence. I kind of thought like, why would someone pay me for my advice? I also had never done anything outside of the corporate world. And so again, I felt like this kind of baby colt, like walking around unsure on my footing. I just had lost a lot of what was kind of where I felt really sure of myself in the corporate world. But that took a really long time. I was in those. And so I have to look back, those roles to get to where I was took me a really long time. I didn't feel like that when I first started out. So I have to remember, like, I'm not going to jump into something basically starting almost from scratch. Even though I had these skills, I did not have the actual skills to do what I wanted to do. And so I felt very much like, not unworthy, but like I didn't have the credibility to be an expert.
Mm. And that's a really common theme I see among many entrepreneurs. And it's kind of funny because I heard it reframed this way once. I don't know where I heard this, but it really spoke to me and made a lot of sense. So I'm just going to say it here. Is someone was saying, isn't it funny how we can have 10 years, 20 years, who cares? I mean, it could be 5 years, right, of experience in our careers. And then when we start a business, we almost pretend like our past life didn't even exist. It's like we just act like, oh, well, we're not credible, we're not worthy because we're brand new to business, but we're not brand new to the skill sets, expertise, the thinking, the leadership, all of the things that we succeeded with in our career. It's not like those things just disappear because you're new to building a business. But I feel like sometimes people forget that and they look at themselves as brand new with nothing of value to offer, which is completely false. But I totally can relate to what you're saying there, how it's just a different mindset, right? A different approach.